pasan días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days, and it's been weeks, and he has... What do you think, Sarah, of this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
A couple of questions. So. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening? Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the basically fight for your country. Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.
Good evening to everybody. How's everybody doing? God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana. And God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. Thank you so much for joining in on this another sad day for reporters, broadcasters, journalists in the city of Tijuana. Another assassination directly. It's exactly what happened. And I cannot even tell which one is worst. The other one was a direct assassination into the photojournalist who was in charge of, who used to work for a lot of networks. And they accuse him of being in charge of some hate pages and also some pages that they were exposing the atrocities of the cartel and the organized crime. This is different. This is Lourdes Maldonado, who has been, known in the journalistic nationwide, and also in not only in the nation, but ultimately also in our state of Baja California. Really well-known journalist. Her expertise of journalism are extremely, she was extremely dedicated to the craft. A lot of years dedicated to journalism, more than 25 years of journalism. And yesterday we were doing a broadcast live outside of her house. She was assassinated yesterday, and assassinated cowardly outside of her location of her house. this was one of the things that you don't want to go and do a coverage. I don't usually go do these coverages because I don't like to do coverage of the red note, how we call it over here, la nota roja. I don't really like to do those coverages dedicated more into immigration and to also in the political, uh, you know, uh, communist and socialist ideologies of our countries. But ultimately, now it has exacerbated into a point that all the journalists from and reporters and broadcasters and everything, everybody, it is, it's uniting right now. We are uniting. The ones that we have a protection order, also we are also putting, now on notice that this is the dangers that we are exposed to. And ultimately, not only this, that they're trying to silence journalism in Mexico. Uh, it is inevitably a direct attack into our freedom of speech. It is a direct attack into freedom of speech, into journalism, freedom of practice of journalism, and ultimately freedom of communicating. What can you say to a young man that wants to be a journalist, that is going to college, or he wants to be a communicator, he wants to be a broadcaster, he wants to work at a radio station, for God's sake? How are you going to explain to him that is dangerous to do that and that you can get killed? That is the word. I'm sorry, but I will use it. That is the actual word. You can get killed. And it is sadly what happened to Lourdes Maldonado. This video that I am about to show and put on screen, it is her. This is a video of her at the president morning conferences. What happened? Let me explain to everybody, because a lot of people have been asking, what happened, Oscar? Lourdes Maldonado has been always a great journalist, respectful, and her level of expertise are, she's a high level journalist. And she used to work for a network that it was owned by the ex-governor Jaime Bonilla. The ex-governor of Baja California, Jaime Bonilla, owned a network by the name of PSN News. PSN News fired, fired Lourdes Maldonado unfairly, unjustly, and she went and took that to court, and she won. When she took that to court and she won, all the property from PSN was, in a way, retained by the government until they paid Lourdes Maldonado what she was demanding to be paid for an unjustifiable terminating of halted of her services to the PSN network. After that, this happened. She was assassinated. A lot of it it's a really extensive. I don't like to direct right now accusations, because there's not, but there needs to be a direct investigation to the ex-governor of our state, Jaime Bonilla. This is her at the morning conferences in 2019 saying to the president, I need protection. I need you to protect me, because I'm going through this civil lawsuit against PSN network. And now that I'm going against this lawsuit against PSN network, I need you to protect me. I'm afraid for my life. Since 2019, this mechanism of protection of journalists was put on her behalf. There is a way that this mechanism works, and I'm on one right now in Tapachula. One of the things about this mechanism is that the authority goes and they do rounds into your address. I have an address in Tapachula, which when I go over there, the municipal authorities, they call me and say, "Are you in your address, sir?" "Yes, I am." "Can you sign this paperwork?" "Yes, I am." To notify that we came and we inspection you and we just took notice that you are okay. Also, this is our phone number. If you feel insecure by some type of other situations, call us and we will be on point in the area where you are located at. That is how the mechanism works in Tapachula. The way that works in Tijuana, this is how it does not work. This is her speaking, and I will translate what she says right here. At, specifically, the morning conference is a 45-second clip, and I will translate. With all respect, I'm doing this video for all journalists in Tijuana, Baja California, and also for journalists, and also directly talking about her family. This is her talking in the morning conferences with the president to ask you for support and also to ask you for help and justice. For labor justice, I'm asking you for labor justice because I'm afraid for my life. This is in the morning conferences in front of all journalists. He's saying, I'm asking you for protection. I'm asking you for help because I'm afraid for my life. Because this is a discussion and this has been a problem that I have with the ex-governor, Jaime Bonilla, for almost 6 years. That it was, in favor of me in the conciliation of labor union, where you put the claim actually to put a lawsuit, and it came out in my favor. Sin embargo, hace poco se fue, lo regresaron el expediente y en 3 semanas salió en mi contra. But, unfairly, unjustifiably, later on 3 weeks, it came against me because it went on a federal level. Absolutamente. Entonces vengo aquí a pedir ese apoyo, esa justicia. That's the reason why I'm coming over here to ask you, Mr. President, for support, for justice. Y lo hago porque se trata de un personaje fuerte en política. And I'm doing it because it is, somebody that is really a political figure, a strong political figure in our country. Que no pretende pagarme ni mucho menos, ya. That he really doesn't want to pay me my services, and at the least. And I already put a protection, but, we're talking about, I'm doing this because we're talking about your senator with license, your super coordinator of delegations, and your candidate, and your next candidate and friend to governor in the state of Baja California, Jaime Bonilla. This is what she said on the morning conferences. This is specifically what she said on the morning conferences, asking for help and for protection. Ultimately, this sadly led to the assassination towards her last night. This is actual video when we were last night. There was a huge operation. There was the ministerial police, also the fiscal police. Also, there was the National Guard. It was a full-on operation. And this is what we wrote about it. I will translate the actual note as I wrote it in Spanish. I will translate it right now. It says right here, they assassinate journalist Lourdes Maldonado in Tijuana. God rest her soul. Tijuana, Baja California, January 23rd, 2022, Oscar L. Blue. This evening, in accordance to the communicated statement of the Fiscal General of the State in Tijuana, Baja California, informs that the journalist Lourdes Maldonado was assassinated in the neighborhood of Santa Fe in the city of Tijuana. Around 7 o'clock in the evening, they received a report of a phone call, 911 phone call, of a woman that had received a fire impact of gunshot in inside of her vehicle. Uh, when the authorities arrived to identify this person was by the name of Lourdes Maldonado Lopez. The fiscal general of the state would open a proper investigation. Lourdes Maldonado was under the mechanism of protection to journalists due to the fact that she was afraid for her life, and she already won a litigation towards the ex-governor of Baja California, Jaime Bonilla, after 6 years of being, sued for not paying her services and to unjustifiably firing her. The ex-governor is the one that owns this network, which the journalist used to work for. Journalist Lourdes Maldonado presented herself on the platform of the president morning conferences, asking him please for support for this legal battle that she was having with the ex-governor of Baja California, and also asked the president for help and protection because she was afraid for her life. This is the second assassination towards journalists in less than 1 week. The past one was on the 17th of January, where a photojournalist, Margarito Martinez Esquivel, cowardly, they took away his life outside of his address. And now Lourdes Maldonado also, they have taken her life too. This is what actually we were outside of the premises. The whole premises in the area was gated and was, closed. The whole perimeter was surrounded by authorities last night as they were doing a proper investigation towards what was happening right now. This is sad to the journalistic communities, not only in Tijuana, but also the whole country. It is uniting as journalists our freedom of speech is being attacked to speak the truth, to say the truth, onto what is happening in our country of Mexico. It's sad. It's extremely sad, and it is more. It is more of a danger of what if it is exposed to. It's more of a danger of what if it is exposed to, and this is what it happened today in the morning conferences, where the president was questioned about what is he going to do in terms to the assassination towards Lourdes Maldonado. This is what he responded. I'm really surprised of his response, and I'm really surprised of the way that he specifically responded to this subject. I'm upset the way that the president is responding towards this specific situation. The reason why I'm upset is because this is not your typical average homicide, and the president is treating this as it is just something that happens on a daily basis, and we shouldn't be worried about. This is an absolute attack to the freedom of speech. For everybody that does not know, this is the morning conferences, as every day the president continuously does these morning conferences. And he was questioned this morning of how and what was his opinion on this matter. And this is what he responded. It's a 3-minute and 59-second video. The journalist in front asked the president what was his opinion on this.
Si se le brindó no protección, si se habló con el candidato en aquel momento sobre esta situación, porque ella habló pues claro aquí y finalmente ahora pues se encuentra es asesinada y además a tiros.
What is your opinion? Because she came over here and she asked for help, and today, sadly, she was assassinated in gunshots. This is the response of the president.
Sí, es muy lamentable lo que sucedió con la compañera. Pues nuestro pésame a los familiares primero, ¿no? Y sí, duele mucho.
Yes, it is really sad what happened to our colleague, and our condolences to the family. This really hurts.
Lo que pasó
This really hurts what happened
en Tijuana.
in Tijuana.
Desde luego vamos a llevar a cabo toda la investigación.
Absolutely, we're going to, profoundly do a thorough investigation.
Ella estuvo aquí, en efecto, a principios del 19.
Yeah, she was here, effectively, and starting the year 2019.
Primeros meses del 2019, a hacer una denuncia por un asunto laboral.
Yeah, she came over here to do practically to do a claim because of a labor subject. She came over here for that.
Con la empresa de radio y de televisión vinculada a Jaime Bonilla.
She came over here to put a claim of this network that it was vinculated to the ex-governor Jaime Bonilla.
Se mantuvo comunicación con ella porque no era un asunto de amenazas, de violencia.
We maintained a communication with her because it was not a subject or it was not a topic of violence or, threats. Look what he says.
Y se le ayudó y se le garantizó.
So we helped her and we guarantee her.
De que su demanda fuese atendida.
That her demand was going to be attended.
Incluso había ganado ya.
Inclusively, she already won. She already had the case done.
Su demanda. Hablaba aquí periódicamente y se le ayudaba.
She spoke here, on a regular basis, and we helped her.
Entonces, lamentablemente, pues sucedió esto. La asesinan. Hay que
sadly, this happens. They assassinated her.
ver el móvil, si hay vinculación con lo de la denuncia de tipo laboral y ver quiénes son.
We need to, actively put the claim and to know what is the actual right now vinculation between, her and actually the claim that they're saying about the ex-governor.
Los responsables, verlo con mucha responsabilidad, ¿sí? Aunque sea redundante lo que planteo. ¿Quiénes fueron? Sí.
To actually do the investigations and see who was responsible and the responsible ones.
Hay autores intelectuales.
And if there's intellectual actors on this.
¿Quiénes fueron los autores materiales?
And who were the material actors?
Se está haciendo ya toda la investigación.
They're doing the whole investigation right now, as I'm being informed.
No se puede así en automático vincular.
You cannot put right now as automatically vinculate. No, you can't do that.
Una demanda de tipo laboral.
It's a lawsuit of labor type.
A un crimen.
You cannot vinculate a labor type to a crime.
No es responsable adelantar.
It is not to be responsible to move forward and to put this speculation.
Ningún juicio. Hay que esperar.
Without a judgment, let's wait.
Y ver quiénes estaban informados.
And see who was informed.
No dejar de considerar lo político.
Not to let by and pass by the political factors.
Porque siempre hay confrontación,
because there's always a confrontation there.
Y diferencias y siempre se busca perjudicar.
And there's always, things that they are of another purpose, and they always intend to considerate those factors. Things of another purpose are, material things, financial things, economical things.
Adversarios. Entonces se tiene que hacer una investigación.
So we need to do a thorough investigation.
A fondo se está llevando a cabo esta
deep investigation, and it is taking over right now.
Investigación como todas.
Like every investigation.
Una característica del gobierno que represento
Characteristic of the government that I represent.
Un compromiso es que no haya impunidad.
One compromise is that we don't want no impunity.
Que todos estos crímenes
That all these crimes
sean atendidos,
they be attended,
investigue
they be investigated,
y se encuentre a los responsables, a los
and that we can find the responsible people. This is the president giving today an explanation of what happened with the assassination towards the journalist. Three things that I see right here that they are aggravating. One is the level of seriousness that he takes this assassination. Immediately, he managed the speculation factor. He doesn't manage in real time what it was happening. The other one is he tries to demerit the fact that she went continuously to the morning conferences to ask for protection and to be saved because she was afraid for her life. So he's trying to demerit that it was something, that it was a labor dispute. It was not something about life and death. As you see, Mr. President, today, the journalist Lourdes Maldonado, she's not with us anymore. So it was a life and death situation that it needed to be. She needed to be protected by the political gangster. And three, this is like he says, this is like everything, like every single murder that happens. No, Mr. President, this is not like that. This is an absolute attack into the freedom of speech. It's not even the assassination towards two journalists in less than a week. It's the assassination towards freedom of speech. It is a complete attack to journalism. It is the country that has more deaths and assassination towards journalists. This is not just an everyday, oh, let's just investigate what happened. She is not part of that. The level of respect that the president shows to Lourdes Maldonado, a well-known journalist with a splendid trajectory of journalistic ethic. The president demerits that in a few words, and it looks like he's defending his buddy, the ex-governor Jaime Bonilla. Immediately, it looks like that. And it directly tells you that if they're going to take the longest that they can afford to make this a long investigation and to not go directly to the facts. Journalism in our country of Mexico is being attacked. Freedom of speech is being attacked. And journalists are afraid for their lives right now outside to be reporting. Every single one of us have this doubt every time that we go to a place where we are exposed and we don't have no protection whatsoever to know what is going to happen. And then we are going to be a number, like this man is saying, like every other case. Because it's not only about investigating a homicide. It is also the attack directly into the freedom of speech of every individual in our country of Mexico. And also the attack directly into journalism in our country of Mexico. Our country of Mexico, it is the number one in the world where journalists are being killed and assassinated. That is not a lie. It is an actual fact. This is an article that it was given back in, let me say when. This was an article that it was put back in July 13, 2021. And it says right here, 43 journalists and 68 activists have been assassinated in the administration of AMLO. You don't kill the truth by killing journalists. That is the statement right here. You don't kill the truth by killing journalists. It is awful what is happening into our country of Mexico. Freedom of speech is being under attack. It is under attack. Freedom of speech. Every single thing that is now in terms to security, it is sad because you see a lot of journalists that they are demanding right now what happened to them. Also, you have a really well-known journalist right now in our state of Baja California that he has done an incredible job also in journalism. Also, he's an incredible journalist by the name of Alex Bachman. Alex Bachman had he explained with his heart on the line a few minutes ago on a public interview. I think that he was outside of the fiscal general of the state of offices. And he was explaining, I wanted a protection order also on 2015. And the Secretary of Government denied me that protection order. So what are we supposed to do? This is not your typical assassination. This is a political assassination. How do we look? We are vulnerable right now. We don't have nobody to protect us. We are just a number. We cannot exercise our freedom of speech. This is a really difficult situation of how to manage ultimately the actual situation when it comes to security. And also, not only that, but the freedom of speech. And today, we went to the. We went today. We went to specifically. We went today to the house where she was assassinated. We did a live broadcast, and in this house there was a dog. This is the house that it was next door, but there was a dog. Lourdes Maldonado was a rescuer of dogs. She used to rescue dogs and she used to rescue pets. She has three cats inside of her house. This is one of the dogs that it was outside. And in one of the photographs by one of the colleagues journalists right here, it shows him waiting outside of his house for her to come back. Really sad. This is according to one of the neighbors. This dog, it's a private area. It's a gated area. It has like around 50 houses or plus. And in this area, this dog used to wander around, so everybody fed this dog. But presumably, they're saying that the journalist used to take care of him more. So this dog used to be taken care of by her. So, this is her address outside. We went to the address. This is another, that is the activist, that woman that you just saw in initiating the video. This is her house, gated now and protected. She approached the window because there were three cats inside, and she is the one that is going to take care of the cats. This is, something that a lot of the journalists have been under the protection protocol for journalists, and they have a panic button. I don't know if you remember, but also activists and leaders of NGOs in our country of Mexico. Also, they have this protection order. One of the leaders of a shelter, most recently, Pastor Albert Rivera of the shelter Agape, had a panic button and it did not work. So we're talking about something really serious in our city. Journalists are under attack. Our freedom of speech is under attack. And the system, the mechanism for protection protocols, it does not work like it's supposed to work. This is outside of our house today. Sad day and in the world of journalism, as it is just it is just so sad. How we're going to fix this, justice needs to be done. Journalists need to come together. Reporters need to come together. Broadcasters need to come together and protest and manifest themselves into demanding, uh, specifically, first and foremost, to bring justice into uh, the two individuals that had just been assassinated cowardly in our city of Tijuana. Juan Margarito Martinez Esquivel, a photographer, journalist who was gunned down outside of his house. And now, a week later, Lourdes Maldonado, who, God rest her soul, both of them, was cowardly taking her life. Uh, oh my God. It's journalism is under attack in our country, and uh, it is not only journalism, but it is just freedom of speech is under attack in our country. Journalism, it is attacked in our country and our freedom of speech also. So we need to really step it up a little bit and demand that this security needs to be given to the reporters that we do boots on the ground reporting, or to every journalist that feels insecure and they feel that his life is on the line and feels that his life has been threatened by these also fake pages and also uh, like the past journalists and a lot of people that they have been in this uh, world of broadcasting. They know that fake pages and fake claims and also fake accusations can lead into you losing your life. Ultimately, fake information can come and close to losing your life, as calling you an informant, calling you this, calling you that. These kind of accusations are aggravating and it has consequences. People need to be held accountable for accusations like this. This ultimately, right now, it is sadly what is happening in our border in Tijuana, where journalists are under right now attacked, and also the insecurity factor. You can breed that atmosphere of insecurity when you go out. I just went out, did that report in front of her house, and you can actually, when you see the authorities and you see them looking at you seriously, the investigators, and watch your back. Good morning, watch your back. That is the actual statements that they particularly, you actually hear. And it is so sad to see that. This is another event that happened today. Well, didn't happen today. This is a another situation that happened. They found a dead baby inside of a prison. This is horrible. I don't know until when our government, well, I'm not even trusting the government. I don't know until when this is going to continue in our country. They found a dead baby inside of a prison in San Miguel. This report was done by Infobae. This article was written by Infobae, and it was delivered on the 20th of January of 2022. The baby was stolen from a morgue or a cemetery in a city of Mexico, and they opened his stomach, put drugs inside of his stomach, and they smuggled him inside of the prison. Then later on, the baby was dropped outside of a container, a trash container, outside of our of the prison. Amazing, amazing. This is the actual how sick the actual situation is. It says right here. I believe that I changed the article. I pushed a wrong button. Let me just remove this and put it back where it's supposed to be. Hold on, right here. Okay, here we go. The event, the catastrophe, this tragic incident happened in the area that is called Talacheros. That is where, the inmates are presumably they throw the trash. The minor of days of being born was carrying a hat, and it had blood all over the abdominal area, like he had an appendix surgery. They say that they use this to introduce drugs into the prison. This is some images that they are a little bit blurred due to the sensitivity of the topic. This was on January 10th in the Penalt area federal prison of San Miguel, Puebla. This is how you can actually see the baby in the container. As it was dropped outside of the container, you can actually see it right there. Our country is a disaster. The baby was wearing a hat. He was found outside of a trash container outside of the prison in the area that is called Talacheros. That is mostly used by inmates who help, custodians to take out the trash and to put it on the containers. This is horrible. Just horrible. This happened in a prison in Mexico. For people that they were wondering about this, a couple of people asked me, Oscar, do you know what is going on with this kind of situation that is occurring, that they're saying about a baby, and a baby was this and a baby was that? And said, yes, I know a little bit about it. Let me just bring it up into topic today. This was a report that it was done in video and photographs were provided by our producer of Border of Oscar L. Blue. This was a report of a clone vehicle. This actually has happened in the United States of America. You actually saw this not too long ago, that in Texas there was a clone border patrol unit that it was working in the borders of Texas. And now you see this, a clone also automobile from the Institute National of Immigration, which it tells you that the United States every day in their borders, it is converting little by little as what is Mexico. Little by little. You actually see that unit in the front. That is the clone unit. This is actual video, 25 seconds of the detention of the individual who was acting as an Institute National of Immigration officer, and that also was moving with a clone unit that looked like the Institute National Immigration unit. can actually see here the individual who is being transported. He was wearing exactly the color of the uniform of a border agent of Mexico. The report says by the Institute of National Immigration statements, human traffickers are using clone vehicles with official logos to evade searches. Yesterday, the Institute National of Immigration detained and identified 28 Nicaraguan people in Jalapa del Marqués, Oaxaca. 5 of them men, 14 women, and 9 of them non-accompanied children, I believe so. The driver, who posed as a health sector employee, was placed at the disposal of the municipal ministry. These are some images of the individuals who were arrested in the search as images were being brought to us. That you actually see the detainee in the all the way to the back. Says the Institute National Immigration of Veracruz, with support of the National Guard, identified 16 people foreign from Guatemala and Nicaragua that they were irregularly staying in Mexico, which they were traveling in a vehicle with, clone logo, clone vehicles that they were using logos from the Institute National Immigration. This is one of the images. This is another image of the individuals, mostly women, that they were being trafficked in a clone vehicle. This is another image that it was being trafficked also. I wanted to bring up this topic so we can close our news. The unaccompanied minors has been something that it's aggravating in the part of Texas for people that are watching. And we will close this with the statement of our next Central American trip. This is what is happening right now in terms to the unaccompanied minors that they are arriving in the part of Texas. This is another image of unaccompanied minors arriving. It says no parents or guardians anywhere to be found. From Del Rio border sector, 3 unaccompanied minors from Honduras, ages of 9, 6, and 3, were just found abandoned on a dirt road along Del Rio Grande River. And also, thankfully, we found them first. They are with us, referring to the border agency. When is it going to stop? With the Biden administration, first and foremost, the Biden administration. We were having this talk, my producer and myself, a little while ago, and I understand everything that we were talking. First and foremost, when is the Biden administration is going to send a message that this is incorrect? When is the Biden administration and the government and the border agency going to act with law and order and punish the traffickers for using unaccompanied minors to traffic other people? Imagine the torment, the nightmare that these children go through. The average per week in Del Rio sector and in Texas is 50 per week. Unaccompanied minors, 50 per week. Unaccompanied minors that they are arriving to every border. 50 per week. Not only that, when is the government of Mexico going to do biometrics? I remember when I visited Tapachula, there was the arrival of the president, and I went all the way up to his car in front of his window, and I yelled at him, and I was telling him, when are you going to do something about the unaccompanied minors, the trafficking of children? He looked at me and he nodded, like he knows that it is a big, gigantic problem. Big, gigantic problem. More than 21,000 are in custody on the Biden administration. Unaccompanied minors. Where are all these unaccompanied minors going to? Where? Who's taking care of them? Also, who and if they're going to be, because Biden is lying, he's saying that he's not deporting them. And I actually showed facts, and I actually showed the statistics by the Institute National of Immigration, and showed you that the Biden administration, it is deporting unaccompanied minors all the way to Guatemala, arriving unaccompanied, again, to nowhere. Who is going to receive them? Who is going to take care of them? The continuous promotion for unaccompanied minors to migrate through these horrible travesties. And I saw a lot of them in the caravans that they were minors, 15, 14, 16, migrating alone in a caravan. Imagine a 9-year-old taking care of a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old migrating through a river in a dirt area alone late at night. Imagine that. It's just horrible. Just horrible. The actual situation with unaccompanied minors. Solution has always been biometrics. Biometrics, and it's the one that the leftist organizations and the demonic organizations, they don't want to implement in our borders, in the south border of Guatemala, and also in the south border of Honduras, and also in the south border of Mexico. Biometrics. It is easy, the solution, to track these kids and to return them back to safety. And if they're not going to be returned back home, why they left their homes? Where are the parents? What was the purpose of the parent? Where is the parent? Are they running away of abuse? Are they running away of domestic violence? Are they running away because they were just pushed away? Were they used for another purpose? Why there's no thorough investigation with unaccompanied minors? Authorities, where are you? Mexican authorities, where the hell are you? Biden administration, when? When? Why? You continue to accept and to continue with this enormous smuggling of children. Where is the thorough investigation of the parent? How can a parent, after they let go their unaccompanied minor, and when they arrive to the United States, how can you have the audacity? You don't know what the parent went through. I don't care. You will never leave your child on a travesty through countries alone with traffickers. What kind of parent are you, really? And when it's just this, if this continues, it incentivizes to more to come. It incentivizes to more to come. I'm not saying denied help. Nobody's saying deny help to the children, to Central American countries. Nobody is saying that. Who is saying that? Nobody. Stop incentivizing for children to walk with traffickers, with coyotes, with the organized crime, for God's sake. Stop. Biden administration, it is a complete disgrace into humanity, and to also, not only to that, but towards children. Holy cow. This is horrible. This is completely horrible. Until when? Do you imagine the trauma of the border agents and the trauma of the personnel and also the trauma of the agents in also in Mexico? You guys imagine the trauma that is going on right there? How horrible it might be to see this continuous effect that is never stopping. And you're looking at your colleague and your border agent friend or whatever it is, your buddy or whatever it is. You're looking at it like, bro, what the hell? When is it going to stop? Biden is telling them to come, bro. But look what he's causing. These people, these children are being raped. These children are being abused. What the hell is he thinking? That's what I'm saying. He's not thinking. Complete disgrace. Sadly, this is continuing. And I say sadly because it is sad to see this to be a business. Thank you so much for joining in. Buy Me a Coffee is on the top link if you guys like to contribute to our independent reporting and broadcasting. Buy Me a Coffee is on the top link. I wanted to talk to you guys for a minute, for a few seconds. We are going to be traveling soon, hopefully, with the restrictions and everything that we're studying in other countries. We are going to be traveling soon to Central American countries, hopefully. And we are requesting of your support. On the Buy Me a Coffee link, there is a goal now, a fund for us to go to Central America. We are independent funded, and we will truly appreciate if you support us to go to show you the reality and the truth about what is happening in Central American countries. First and foremost, to show you every border, how it is functioning. The failed inspection of the COVID variant, and also how they are not screening correctly. The idea of the leftist Democrats in the United States of America that they're saying because of climate change, millions are migrating. We will show you actually that. The deportations that they are doing directly to Central American countries. We want to show you that. There is right now a Buy Me a Coffee link. When you go in there, there is a donation fund, and there's a goal right there. Hopefully, we can reunite that goal as 2 journalists are going on this trip, and we will travel 3 countries. 3 of them bringing you live broadcasts. Our goal is right there. Hopefully, we will receive your support. And you guys know us. We walk the walk. And ultimately, we bring you raw and uncut footage for every single one of you. So thank you for your support. Also, we have now the audio rooms in our page on Facebook. We will be organizing ourselves on how we can have that into a privilege for our viewers and followers. Thank you so much for every single one of you for your support today on this evening. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Owedo, at all platforms as he is going to be broadcasting you from the Texas border. Thank you so much. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love. Because always, your country's first. God bless.
Ya van días y varias semanas.
He hasn't given no response, and it's been days and it's been weeks, and he has...
think, Sarah, of this canyon right here?
It's absolutely incredible. I haven't been to Tijuana in a lot of years, and seeing how wide open it is. I mean, I don't know if you could turn the camera around and show everyone just how wide open it is. It's incredible.
Couple of questions. No. Rashida, what is your opinion on the massive child trafficking that is happening?
Y espero logren su objetivo de la justicia a su país. Luchen por su país. Say the basically fight for your country.
Están bloqueando el acceso. ¡Viva! La Policía Federal o la autoridad nos está deteniendo el acceso y nos está deteniendo el paso para poder cruzar hacia el Zócalo, señores.